Hello guys. Good morning. I'd be surprised if I have anyone show up today. It's so early. I usually never wake up this early. The last couple days have been weird. I've been waking up at 5 a.m. I actually really enjoy waking up early. It's just been a really long time since it's happened for me, so it's kind of unusual. My family all sleeps until 9 or later. Today it'll be at least that late because I got the baby up to feed her this morning. Usually that my husband does that at 5 or 6. And he's still sleeping. He'll get to sleep in. That'll be good. He doesn't get much sleep, honestly. And he seems to function fine without sleep, and I do not. I'm going to be so tired later today. I was yesterday, too. Anyway, how to learn diamond painting when you're depressed. I was going to do this last week, but I was too depressed to learn it, and sometimes you just gotta know how far to push yourself, and that was too far for me last week. So, I got this cool Christ painting. It came in a box like this. I meant to put the links in the comments. I will put that in later. I am an Amazon affiliate, so qualified purchases will earn me money. So, I don't know how to do this. Like, I kind of looked it up once, and there's so much. Okay, so it looks like that's probably the instructions. And here we have the tools, and that's it. That's all that's in the box. This is stray. Okay, let's just. So you have like a little tray and some pieces of I don't know what. That looks like wax. I think that's wax. I honestly have no clue. A bunch of bags. Maybe that's like for the beads. I don't see any beads. And then these tools. Kind of like, I guess they'd probably be in here. Not beads, tools. Probably in there. It's time to check the video resolution. Okay. And this is honestly still a little bit daunting. Okay, so it says to unroll the canvas and tape it to a flat surface. Don't worry if there are creases, they'll vanish as you work on it. Take inventory of your diamonds, match the code on the paper with the code on each bag of diamonds. So you really need to have a workspace for this. Good thing I was planning on moving my laptop to do this. Prep your diamond pen tool, peel the plastic off the red wax pad, stab the wax pad to put a tiny bit on the end of the pen. You can also use the tweezers your preference. I'm actually surprised that the instructions are all in like good English. I kind of almost expected this to be one of those Chinese kits with bad English and hard instructions to understand. Apply your diamonds. Consult the legend on the canvas. Go back a corner of the plastic film. Place diamonds on the canvas according to where their symbol appears. Oh, I skipped step 3. I thought that this was like read down, then that way, and then it's not. Step 3 is over here. Sort and prep your diamonds for painting. So separate them into little trays or containers, not included. They're not included. Darn. After you're organized, pour a single color into your grooved tray to get started. Okay, so I don't think I have anything over here that I can use for my little trays. Okay, let's get this out and we'll see how many colors I need. So I'm just going to move my laptop now. Give this a minute to make sure. My laptop's charging, so I have to put it in a specific, or have to leave it in the right spot. And I will change this up in a minute so that you guys can see this, what I'm working on. I'll have to stack this under books or something. Oh, I'm gonna have to clear out this whole area. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna dump all this on my couch right here. Except for this little guy, he can stay. Personality isn't permanent, but meaning to read that. This is Jacques. He's my goose. He's supposed to be my writing buddy, but I haven't written since I got him. We'll get there. We'll get there. Someday. Not too late. Alright. I wasn't sure what to expect from this, but this is covered in a nice shiny paper. And they have all letters on the colors, and it's actually on fabric. I didn't expect it to be. Like, this feels like sturdy fabric. It makes sense, it's just not what I expected. Okay, I'm gonna need to move my lamp because this is not, or just, here we go. Okay, and I had tape over here. Here we go, got the tape. Let's just, didn't realize I would need quite so much for this. Now you know. I have lots of exciting things to talk about once we get to the point where I'm ready to talk about stuff. Lots of exciting things. I thought I'd be able to just tape the corners. I think that's what showed in the picture, but this thing doesn't want to be flat, so we're going to tape more than just the corners. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take off of course I'm going to have to take off the plastic film. I'm just not sure if I want to do that quite yet. I'm going to have to look at the instructions again in a minute. Let's see. I don't even know if this tape is going to hold. It seems like cheap tape, you know? And like this is very sturdy fabric. And the white parts are glittery too. Well, it's all glittery. I do like glitter. More than I thought I did. Not actual glitter, just glittery things. Not that there's a huge difference, but there kind of is a huge difference, especially when you have kids at home. Okay. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna use for little containers. I do have the little Tupperware dishes, so I think I'm gonna go get those. I'll be right back. And I realized that first I did not count how many. Where did my colors go? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Oh, they're so fluffy. These are a lot of little. Cannot let my kids near this stuff, that's for sure. Holy crap. There's more than I have to pay us for. Way more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. That's 20. I don't think, I should just fold this in half and count it half of it. That's 28. There's no way I have that many little containers. But I'll go get a bunch. I don't even have room for that many containers over here. Okay, I couldn't find the containers that I thought I had, so we're going to be using these cute little ice cream bowls. I found these at DI. It's like, I grew up with bowls like this, so I kind of want them for my son. So, fortunately, he doesn't see them and ask for ice cream automatically like I did. Alright, so I unrolled it, taped it to a flat surface. Take inventory of the diamonds, match them with the code on the paper. Right, so that's just telling me to check to make sure I have all of them, I guess. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. Although it says 26, and I swear I counted 28. Maybe that's wrong. That's okay. Maybe there's just extra. Prep your pen diamond tool. So that would be this thing. Peel the plastic off the red tab. There's two sides of plastic. I don't know where exactly I'm supposed to put it. Stab the wax pad, put a tiny bit on the pen. Apply your diamonds. They show the wax and the little diamond thing in the same color, so that's a bit confusing. Right, I'm gonna have to move. I don't know how I'm gonna stack this thing on. Hold on. I got this, just 1 second. I have a shoebox over here. Just put the laptop on the shoebox. That's safe, right? My laptop's not gonna fall or anything, right? Okay. And I'll have to switch screens for a second so I can see what you guys see. Okay. I'll just leave the little table. And I'm totally covering this thing up right now. I'm just a little bit confused as to what exactly I'm supposed to do. It just says to place the diamonds according to where the color appears. I'm so confused. Yeah, I should have watched a video or something on how to do this. I really should have. I don't know what these tools are for. There's these extra tools here that I'm assuming, I don't know. That doesn't go with that. Neither does this. I don't know. I don't know. Should have looked at more instructions. And I'm gonna do this anyway, just because I'm determined to figure it out for myself. That's just how I roll. Not the best way to do things, really not. Alright, so here we have colored 26. Oh, and they correspond with, so they have numbers on the bags, and the numbers correspond with letters on the chart that you then line up. Of course, they're not all letters, some of them are just random symbols, it looks like. This one, the 26, is the Y. And I feel like it shouldn't be this hard to find. Okay, so Y goes in the sky. And the sky is way back there. Let's start with one of the ones over here, like the D. And I'll look at the chart. D is 12. So, oh, sorry. Forgot to turn off the volume on my laptop. And done. Okay, so I found 12. Let's see if we can rip these carefully apart without spilling anything anywhere. I do have scissors. Okay, we have scissors here. It's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna cut this off so that it's open. Might as well just, we'll put it in here. So let's put it in here. I don't know why this seems to be more complicated. Ah! I hope they give you extras because, dang, that's so many tiny little pieces of plastic. Maybe I don't need the bowls. Oh, maybe you attach that to this? Don't know, a little bit confused here. Just a little bit. If anyone happens to be watching and have pointers to give me, feel free. Ah! There's my wax. Okay, and I said that was 12, that was D. Okay, D. This was a little scarier than I thought it was. Not gonna lie. Oh, don't know why I felt the need to say that I'm not gonna lie either. I'm pretty sure you guys know that about me. Alright, so I'm afraid to touch that now that the film is off. I'm still confused. Still very, very confused. But let's just start by putting wax on this thing. I really don't know. Maybe you just put the wax on so you can get it and the whole thing is sticky so it just stays. Maybe that's what this is. So let's just pick a little spot, cover up the D. Yeah, I think that's actually what this is. You just use the wax to pick up the pieces and you just put it on there. My hands have been kind of shaky lately, so it is a little hard. This pen is like hollow. I wonder if as you push the wax in, the wax like goes up in the pen. Okay, this light still isn't in the best place, so I'm not sure how exactly to fix this because this everything is crowded over here. Oops, and this light is touch light, so okay. Is that a bad place for the video? I can't tell quite yet. So I guess that's what this is. That's what you do. I figured it out. I don't know what this is gonna look like yet, but I was wondering how much of the picture actually gets covered. I actually saw, as I was looking up how to do this, I saw that it is like labeled as a thing to do with something that's kind of therapeutic. So that's cool. I guess in the same way that coloring with gel pens is. There's all these tools here. I don't know what exactly I'm doing wrong. Or doing different. I don't know, not doing wrong per se. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. They even give you a little room so that you can mess things up and not worry about it. I wonder how long this is going to take me. I never actually looked that part up. It's funny, I actually ordered a kit for. You don't have to start this big, guys. If a project this big looks too much for you, too daunting, too overwhelming, there are bookmark kits too. I have one over here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it went, but it's somewhere over here. And you know, those are much smaller. So if that's where you want to start, that's also a bead. That's a great place to start. I really want to be able to adjust this light so it's coming like along the table, so my hand doesn't get in the way and block it. But oh well. Yeah, this was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be hard on. Oh no, it's off-centered. I wonder if that's what any of those tools are for, is if they're off-center. So you can fix them. Let's find out. I don't really know how you find out. Let's see if you can just. Aha! I moved it at least. That's all I really need to do. So that's okay now. So I guess there isn't. Yeah, definitely keep this away from kids and pets. Oh my goodness, if you have like a cat that jumps up on your workspace and it would get hair all over this and it would just be stuck to the picture. So if you have pets, be careful of that. And if you have kids, just do this somewhere they can't get to it, because oh my goodness, if these beads, these little bead things ended up all over the floor, that would be awful. Okay, so it's not too difficult to move this around a little bit. I think. I don't know, I hope I'm not messing anything up. We'll find out later. I feel like this would be a little easier if the beads were a little bigger, and if my lighting was in a better spot. I wonder if I can, like, let's put it over here. Oh, that's better. That's probably not better. There's gotta be a way to make this better. Like, just. Okay. So I'm sorry if that, I don't know what that's doing to the computer at this point, but that makes it easier for me to see. My hand's just shaking just a little. I noticed that with my yesterday when I was coloring too. Gel pens have been starting to stress me out just a little, but I wonder if that's just because every time I do gel pens, I think about this video that I've been meaning to do, because it really has been giving me anxiety. There is a flat side to this. The flat side is not the side you pick up with the wax. Oh, I wonder if you're supposed to like rub the wax off when you're done, because it looks like sometimes the wax does get left on little pieces. Right, so many exciting things to talk about. Maybe that's part why I've been waking up so early. I mean, I haven't really felt more excited, but I've definitely had more to be excited. I haven't felt so excited that I'd think it would affect my sleep, but it could be. That light looks really weird in the camera. I hope that helps. So, I have done a big thing. It feels like a big thing. It also feels like not a big thing at the same time. I have started a publishing company. I am calling it More Than a Fantasy. I have the website set up. I am officially open for submissions. I'm specifically looking for books that are like mine, that cover mental illness and have themes of hope. Cover mental illness accurately. I should probably portray in there somewhere, but hey, it's fine. Don't want anyone to overthink it, because those of us that write mental illness are usually those of us that have mental illness, and I don't want you guys to overthink it. Just do what you feel like you should. Share messages you want to share. Yeah. So, I'm still doing lots and lots of research for how exactly to make this company work. Like, I'll need to make up a contract for authors to sign when they sign on with me. And I think that's the most of it, though. I will be getting business license, making sure that there's nothing else I need. And I'm doing lots and lots of research to improve my skills as a publisher and marketer, which are things I'm already working on. Like, I'm going to school for business and social media marketing and just human relations, like human marriage and family relations at BYU Idaho. Oh no! Oh crap. I don't know what to do if they fall on there. But it's on there. Okay. Let's see. I got it on its side and I picked it up. We're okay. We're okay. So, if one of them comes for a joyride with you, it's not the end of the world. That's good to know. I don't know if those tools are supposed to be used for scraping like that, but it worked. Kind of curious if that one viewer has been the same person every time. Don't know who you are, but hello. I think it really is a person. I've been debating about that this whole time. If YouTube just says there's a viewer and there's not. Anyway. So yeah, this is super exciting. I've commissioned the artist to do my logo. And it's going to be a super freaking awesome symbolic logo. I'm actually going to have two versions, one for the book covers and one for general. Which it's going to have even more symbolism that way. I really don't know what those other tools are for. Maybe I should Google it later. I will do that. Just watch it. We're going to get really far in and I'm going to start putting the wrong colors down in the wrong spots. It's going to happen. Oh, and when I was searching on Amazon, I think that's when I saw it. These light pads came up that you can like put behind your thing. I think is the idea, to put it behind it and then make the lights sparkle. So that's kind of a cool idea. Except for at the time I was thinking that the beads are translucent, and these beads are all opaque. I have extra wax coming off of my pen. Not sure what to do about that. I'm kind of worried. I keep like touching the sticky part of the sheet with my wrist as I work. It's so big. How do you completely avoid touching it? Need more wax, I think. I don't know. I don't really know how this works. Whew. Oh, and as part of my publishing company's thing right now, what we're doing is this is something anybody can participate in. We're doing this thing called the Hope Stamp Project, or just the Hope Stamp. It's my theoretical, figurative stamp of approval for books that are published by other people and other publishers, but do the same thing that I want my books to do. So that my readers can have more books to choose from if they want more books to do what I do, what the books I do. But I will be republishing the books that I currently have. I'm getting new covers commissioned too by the same artist. These ones will look more like your normal fairy tale book covers instead of like a movie poster. Although I do really love the way they look right now. Haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do about that. Makes me sad that I'll be using different book covers. But I felt like I needed to get new book covers commissioned for that before. I'm not supposed to tell you guys that. Okay. Anyway, things are just working out. It's kind of funny though. Yesterday, after I woke up super early, I spent some time doing homework, and a lot of the readings in one of my classes were specifically about the power of getting up early. Like that's something that entrepreneurs do and successful people do is wake up early. It's been my least favorite one for a long time because I've just had trouble sleeping and waking up at all. Like, I'm always tired no matter how much sleep I get, so I just want to keep sleeping and not deal with it. I've had a lot more energy the last few days. I've also been more forgetful about taking my medication, so I'm not sure what the correlation is there. Okay. These really aren't too impossible to move around after you put them down. It just seems that way at first when you first try. At some point, my family's gonna get up, and my husband's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" And he's just gonna quietly walk out of the room and go back to bed and hang out in the bedroom. Probably. Let her get on his computer. That's what's gonna happen. I probably won't be doing this still by the time my son wakes up, but maybe. If I have enough to talk about, I could still be here. Huh. I just don't have a lot of people that I talk about to lately. Part of it is that I'm still with the depression. I'm still just like social isolating myself. It's been one of my biggest symptoms, like for pretty much ever, is I just avoid people, hide myself away. I don't know why you would. Oh, I hope. Okay, so what I was about to say is I don't know why you would get out all the colors at once, unless you were gonna go through and just go up and down and just build everything off of each other. But that might be what you're supposed to do, because if you do it the way that I'm doing right now, you might run out of room for all the pieces. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We will see what happens there. Oof. Yeah, that's probably why you're supposed to read more instructions, but hey, it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. And I was always so confused about what the wax is for, and this makes a lot more sense. I think that it's also possible to create your own diamond art from scratch. So that's kind of cool. Ah, no! I just dropped two of them on here. Okay, we're cool. I got this. It's all good. If at least stick with general colors. do general colors in the same area altogether first. That would probably be fine, right? I just try to center it so that it covers the letter. Good enough for me. Not sure where exactly I'll hang this when I'm done. It could go in the kitchen, could go in our bedroom. Definitely not going in the living room. I have this whole wall covered in Monet art. There's no room for anything else. It's like a freaking museum over here. Except they're just posters. They're not even framed art. I just stuck them up there with some of that sticky tack stuff. But now that I have these light curtains up, I think it looks cool. Turns out I like the light curtains a lot better when they're open, which makes me wonder what the point really was, because I thought the point was so I could have them closed so it's like its own wall, so that I have my own office, but I haven't really kept them closed at all. Like, keeping them closed actually makes me feel more depressed. So yeah, be aware of how things make you feel when you make changes. You don't have to stick with something just because you thought it would make you happy. If it doesn't actually make you happy, you should change things up. Yep. Woo. Okay, I feel like that one's a little misaligned, but it will probably be fine. This takes forever. My arm's actually kind of starting to hurt. I've done like maybe like 40 or 50 of these little things, I think. Roughly, just looking at it that way. This is getting kind of annoying because all the pieces now that are left are upside down. I'll have to like shake this up or something. Having to stop and look for pieces that are right set up. I'm not sure 100% if this is relaxing for me in my current mood. Like, I feel like it's a race. I have to get this done so I can see what it looks like. So it might not be the best medium for me in my current state of mind. That doesn't mean that I will never enjoy this, but it will never be relaxing for me. Just not quite yet. Okay, let's just stir things up a little so we can get my pieces here. Oh, I keep just having urges to work on another book of mine, my sorcerer's books. That's what my husband calls them. That's not the official name or anything. I'd actually like the title of the series to be Legacy of the Gods. It's been done once or twice before, but maybe that's okay. I don't know. But it's by far my favorite series. It's kind of got some themes of, like, the location. Last I worked on it, the location was kind of like England near the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, or at least, the fictionalized version of England at that time. And now I'm going to be adding just some overall themes that are similar to Europe during the Renaissance. I've been reading a book on the Renaissance, and that's going to be super cool. Really cool addition. Because I don't like how dark it feels in England during that time period. Like, a lot of things I've watched and read just feel darker. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's not like, I don't think it's literal darkness, but it could be a lot of the time. But, like, I'm reading a book on the Renaissance, and so far it's just been talking about this famous poet, thinker dude, I forget his name. I'd never heard of him before I started reading this, but I'm pretty sure he's like a famous. Yeah, he's famous. Anyway, he is definitely famous. But, oh crap, I got wax in the poo. Ah! That is definitely sticky. And he's just always like outside and hiking and climbing mountains for fun, and it's kind of a cool, different thing to read about him doing that kind of stuff. Like that's not something you read about a lot in history books. I feel like the things that they do outdoors, like he just spends time in the garden. And, yeah, and then he like travels and spends time with kings and stuff too. You really got to concentrate when you're putting these down. Make sure you watch where you're going. It's very it's a weird mindset, like talking and doing this at the same time. It's so glittery or like so like shiny, you know. It looks kind of glittery, just the way it shines. I do like that. Anyways, I thought this picture was super cool. I thought that one of Jesus on the walking on the beach was super cool too. I don't know why I didn't get that one. I really want it. And I found another actual painting, like oil painting of Christ. Not a DIY, but I really really love. Like I've never seen one like it. It's basically a color warped version of an already famous painting, but it's kind of expensive. Anyways, I showed my husband, and he said that he's actually been looking at the same one, thinking about getting it for me, but he wasn't sure if I'd like it or how much I'd like it. And so now he knows that he actually should get it at some point for me when it's in the budget. So that's cool. At first though, like that's why I started looking for DIY Christ paintings, was because I wanted that painting so bad. Figured I'd try to do it myself if I couldn't buy it. I thought about actually trying to paint it myself with acrylic, but that would just be way too long. I don't have that much patience with acrylic. We will be doing acrylic paints sometime soon for the one of these episodes. Because I just don't have the patience to spend forever with my depression. Uh, like the longest I've ever really spent on an acrylic painting is 3 or 4 hours. And yeah, there's just, crafting and DIY stuff can be so hard when you're depressed. And as always, one of the biggest things that you can do to make these things enjoyable is forgive yourself. Do not hold it against yourself if things go wrong. Do not hold it against yourself if you're feeling too impatient for the learning process. I feel too impatient for the learning process all the time, and so I've forgiven myself to the point where I can just go for it and at least give it a try, without even like trying to learn how to do it right, theoretically right. And a lot of the times it turns out, even if it doesn't turn out the way it was supposed to. And sometimes things go wrong, but you have to take a step back and realize, like, hey, it still looks good, or hey, I still enjoyed this, even if I don't think it looks good. Those are hugely important things that you can do to get enjoyment out of DIY when you're struggling with depression. Like this, if it turns out that I made it so that there's not enough room to put all the diamonds in, like I screwed myself over, for a minute I might be frustrated with myself, like, yeah, I did screw this over. But overall, like, it's gonna be fine. I'll find a way to make it work. Like, I'll try to squeeze everything over, space it out a little bit if I have to, not so that I can fit in the diamonds, not if that's gonna be too impossible anyway, but so that um, it doesn't look so much like there are pieces missing. Because after all, you can't, or like, if I can tell that there's not enough room for 2 lines and there's 2 lines there, then just fill it in so that you're doing one on purpose and it takes up more space. That's the kind of thing that I would do if that went wrong. Because there's no way I'm going to go take off all the pieces and redo this. That's just too much. You gotta know when to quit. And if you do like get fed up and want to quit with this, I would not recommend just packing it all up and throwing it away, as tempting as it could be to do that. I know I've been tempted to do similar things before, because at some point you will regret that. And you already hate yourself when you're depressed. You don't want to give yourself a reason when you're not depressed to look back and hate your depressed self. And really, you shouldn't hate your depressed self ever for any reason. Look, you're doing the best you can. That doesn't look the same as the best that you can do when you're not depressed. And that's just not, it's just not how it works. Like, it's depression. It's called depression for a reason. There's obviously like something's up with you. You're not functioning the same as you usually do. You shouldn't hold yourself to the same standards, whether or not you're looking at yourself as you're depressed. But don't regret your past just because your past self made different choices when you were depressed than you would have if you weren't. Because that's going to happen. It's just a part of life. And I'm not going to tell you or try to convince you that that's fair or anything. But there is wisdom to be gained. Everything can be a learning experience. You can find a way to benefit from most things. I'm not talking about the things that made you depressed. If something made you depressed, then it made you depressed for a reason, and I'm not saying that you need to be grateful for that experience. But you can be grateful for the way that you deal with that experience. Or the ways that you learn to cope after you experience that. Because you are strong. Every day that you carry on and keep trying, even if trying just looks like trying to not kill yourself and trying to get by another day. Like, I've had a lot of days like that. That's still valid. That's still progress. Because there will be days where you wake up feeling different. There will be moments where you feel different. And you have to be aware of those moments to take advantage of them and to do things differently. And that's how you start making progress. That's how I've gotten to where I am at today. Like 3 or 4 years ago, like when I was dating my husband, I was depressed one day and in the car with him, and he just drove me to my doctor's clinic and went in and set up an appointment with me for me, tried to get me in right then, tried to get me on medication. And I was really freaking pissed at him. I don't think I even went to the appointment, and I did not take the medication. But we've gotten to the point where, and I didn't take the medication at all for a long time. We've gotten to the point where I am taking medication, and I'm trying to find medication that helps, and I'm still not convinced that medication can or will help, but I am taking one right now that could actually be helping. It's kind of hard to say, honestly, because I've been making so many changes in my life. It's hard to say where the credit goes because a lot has been changing. But it could be helping. And I'm trying in ways that I wasn't capable of before, and I'm not mad at myself or upset with myself for not trying in the past in ways that I'm trying now. I know that I have always been doing what I felt most capable of. And I know things that I would have been different. I would have turned out differently if I had done things differently in the past. And I am grateful for who I am today. Oof, this painting is seriously going to take forever. I don't know how long people spend on this. but hours is my guess. I'm excited for the finished project though. Make sure you get one you're excited for if you're going to try this. That is so hugely important, especially when you're depressed. If there's one that makes you happy or at least doesn't make you if there's no, you really just have to pay attention to how you feel because sometimes things just make you feel like a little bit icky, and that little bit of ickiness is enough to have an impact on everything once you're actually working on the project. Okay, cool. So this is actually already starting to look kind of cool. Shading has never been my forte. I've always struggled with that. I kind of want to go to art school just so I can specifically learn more about how to shade. I'm seriously thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about moving to Idaho and going to school and getting a second bachelor in arts. I might be done with my bachelor's by next spring. We will see what happens there. I've been taking as many classes as I can put up with. I was going to take 10 credits this summer session, but it's doubled up, and that was too much. So now I'm taking 7, and that's almost too much for me. I only took like 5 last semester or something. Maybe it was 8. It was 8. And 8 credits over one semester is way less than 7 in a summer session. Really gotta find out when I can register for fall classes. No, not fall, winter. Really like to register for winter classes. School is actually such a good thing for me. Like, I've always loved school, and I never thought that I would go back to school while I still had small kids. I didn't think I could do online school with kids in the house. But it's been so good for me, and I've really been enjoying it. And I mean, yeah, I always loved school. I'm a nerd, but I don't think I would have been able to pull it off like a year ago either. Maybe a year ago, not 2 years ago for sure. Everything has an impact on mental health. Oh, by the way, I started reading You're a Badass yesterday, last night, and this morning. And I'm still on chapter 1, but it is such a good book. It is just what I need right now. Actually, I picked it up. Okay, I bought it a few weeks ago. I don't remember why. Yesterday, I picked it up sometime in the morning or early afternoon, thinking I should start reading it finally yesterday. And it got to the point where that wasn't really going to happen. And then last night, like late last night, a friend told me that I should read it, like not knowing that I had it next to me. So that was kind of cool. And I did start reading it. I was like, God obviously really wants me to read this book. And I can see why, because it really is helping. And the main thing that's helping, I think, this time, especially compared to other times, because I have read quite a handful of self improvement, self help books, is that this time I'm taking notes and journaling as I go. And it's helping me a lot to be more introspective. Like in the first chapter, the author talks about her relationship with money and how it stems from her childhood, the way that she was raised. And I've known for a while that I also have an issue with money, but I haven't given it as much thought as I should. Like, it was more of an afterthought sort of thing. And I actually thought about it, and I'm still not sure. I think I know what the root is, but I'm still not sure what to do about it. But like, I just feel like I'm not allowed to have money spent on me. Like, no matter how much money we have, any money that's spent on me can only be done to like either to pity me or to stop me from like throwing a tantrum. Like as being a kid at the candy or being a kid at the store and you want a candy bar and your mom only caves in because she wants you to shut up and stop crying in front of everyone. That kind of thing. I don't ever remember actually doing that, but that's a common scenario. That's the best thing I know how to compare it to. And that's the problem is I don't know where. I know that, like, I remember, like, going to Toys R Us to, like, buy somebody a birthday gift, and I really wanted something, and my mom would say, like, we don't have money for that. So I'm assuming that I got the idea in my head that we just didn't have enough money, and not enough money for me for stuff that I wanted. But, like, even as like a 12-year-old, when we were like pretty well to do at that point, and like we went back to school shopping and stuff. If we went back to school shopping, stuff like that, I still felt like I couldn't have money spent on me. Like that still wasn't okay. And I don't really know why. Like now I do lots of retail therapy when I'm depressed, and it's really bad. Ah, careful that that doesn't happen. And I'm not 100% sure of like the psychological things going on behind me. Oh, but I'm finally gonna take psychology classes sometime soon. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to take psychology for years. I don't want to be a psychologist. I just want to know the things that psychologists know. Really, I don't want to be anything that requires a degree. I just want to do the things I do. Like, I have lots of research to do to become even better as a publisher, but it's all stuff that I can do on my own. I don't need a degree for that. It would be nice to have help with the legal side of stuff and to know about how all that works. But I think I don't. Okay, I know that I need like a business license or permit or something in order to publish other people's books on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. But like otherwise, I'm fairly certain. Like you cannot take my advice on this, Kay. I'm not a lawyer or anything. But like you don't even really technically need a business license until you've made so much money off your business, and how much money depends on the state that you're in. That is my current understanding. So there's that. Ooh. So like I'm not actually getting. I'm going to be starting research soon on when and what kind of business license to get, but I don't actually need one right this minute. I won't really need one until it's time to actually publish my first book as a publisher that isn't mine. Because I will be publishing my own books too, of course. And that I can do without an issue. So, woohoo. This keeps getting like on top of the canvas, and then the canvas like jumps when I put pressure on it sometimes. So that's not very good. Alright, I just squeezed in a little diamond into a place where I'd kind of blocked off, and it worked. For the first time, it worked. That's good. That's good news. I don't think I'd want to do this if I weren't talking to someone, honestly. Talking to people makes things more fun for me sometimes. And this is just such a long process. Like, I could totally see myself getting together with any of my best friends and just working on these together. That'd be fun. I would enjoy that. I miss my best friends. I miss all of them. Kind of torn on the one I'm not in contact anymore because last time we talked, she was a major jerk. She was just being awful to me. And like on one hand I miss her, and then on the other hand I can't think about what happened. Like it hurts too much. This could end up taking like weeks. The hard part is gonna be like I'm not gonna want to finish this. Probably. I might walk away and just not want to do it. It's gonna make it awfully hard if I haven't finished by next week to come back here and do more crafts, but I could always do them somewhere else, I guess, technically. Like if I'm gonna paint, I could do that in the kitchen. Oh, I also got embroidery, like those embroidery hoop kits. Oh, so that's exciting. My sister wanted me to learn embroidery so that I could embroider something for her, and that is the plan. I've been wanting to learn embroidery since my great grandma died, and I inherited some of the stuff that she embroidered. And most of it was finished, and some of it was not. At this point, I've lost most of the stuff that was not done. One of them is super cool. It's like this farm scene, and it's like 3D. Just the way that the. Oh, what is up with my voice? Anyway. Very tired. Not as tired as I'm gonna be later, but I'm very tired. And I have a doctor's appointment later too, so whoop-de-doo. Got my ENT follow-up. I haven't even been taking the medication he gave me regularly. So that's super helpful. He's probably going to tell me to go back home and do that for a couple more weeks and then come back. Just kidding, he probably won't, but I could totally understand if he did. And I say he probably won't just because, like, my family goes to church with him, or my husband's family, and I don't think he's that kind of doctor. I think that he would have way more, like, he would, like, actually trust me more than that, just because he knows my husband's family. Yeah, sorry, totally just spit. But yeah, I feel like that's what would happen. We'll see. We will see. I really have no clue. If I'm lucky, which I don't know if I am, I don't know if he's that good of a doctor, he'll actually try to find out why the medication worked and what it is that's been the problem. Because what I'm experiencing might just be one symptom. But that doesn't seem like the kind of thing that doctors would do these days. It seems like most doctors would be like, well, the symptom you came to me for was fine, so you're good now. Uh, yeah, doctors these days are kind of jerks like that. I mean, not like that's the worst experience either. I've definitely heard worse, much worse stories. But yeah, that's my story. I don't know like the highest part is. Okay, there is some of this color in the jacket thing, or not the jacket thing, you know, these robes. That's what they're called. Ooh, there's another extra piece. Seems to be stuck. Oh, I gotta not do that. If that thing goes flying, I'm just gonna be so done. I do not want to pick all these up. In a way, I'm like actually excited to do this and to like do more of these. Like I totally want to do more just for the cool pictures, just because I like the way that this looks when it's done. But I don't know. I don't know if I actually enjoy the doing of it enough to do that. We'll see, I guess. And like I said, it probably is just a mood that will pass. This is kind of tiring out my shoulder. The lighting in here is so awful. I should have done this during the day after all. No, I mean, the same time I shouldn't have. 'Cause I don't want to have to worry about kicking my family out later, making them be quiet so I can do this. Not that I am trying to have this facade that this is how easy my life is. People leave me alone when I want them to. That wouldn't even work. But I'd rather spend time with them later. Or take a nap. Taking a nap would be good too. I'd be awake right now anyways if I wasn't doing this. Yep. Part of me thinks I should do it when everyone's here and awake and running around. Just to make it so you guys can see, like, I have to deal with this too. I know you guys can't shove everybody in one room just so that you can get some work done on your DIY project. I mean, you probably can't. My husband's really supportive that way. He would probably do this or do that for me, even if I was just doing it for fun and just didn't want to be bothered. He does that when I write a lot, if I write during the day. I know not everyone's families are that supportive in that way, or can be supportive in that way. No, not everybody's married and lives away from their parents and siblings too. That would make things pretty impossible. I'd have been interrupted so many times by now. At least one of my brothers would probably come in and just like stand in the background where the camera could see him and just stare like weirdos. You know, like that's the kind of people in my family. Well, my sisters, they'd probably just try to rush through. One of them might like tease me just a bit. Maybe not even on the screen. That's what I imagine would happen. That's if I were filming at their place. Sorry. I meant to be talking about what happened if I were actually trying to do this at their place. Yeah, they wouldn't leave me alone. I wouldn't get actual peace doing this. Unless I were doing it in my room, but even then, that's not a guarantee. It's been so long since I've lived at home, though. By so long, it actually hasn't been that long, but that's okay. A lot of these pieces are upside down again. I don't want them upside down. I got too much wax on the wax pen last time I got it. So that's a little annoying. I'm starting to get hungry. I got Costco muffins yesterday. I got 1 pack of 6, thinking that that was what the $8 was worth. Oh, it cost. I didn't look at the sign. Then I went to check out. There's supposed to be 2 packs. Go pick out any other flavor. And I ran back there and I couldn't pick out a flavor quickly. So I just grabbed one of each flavor. So we have 24 giant muffins from Costco. We'll probably go freeze most of them today. I just really love muffins, and muffins make my life easier. For some reason, it's better for my depression, mental health, to have muffins available for breakfasts rather than cereal. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. They're still all upside down. My son is crying, but chances are he'll just go back to sleep, or my husband will hear him and take care of it. So I'll just give that a minute. Woo! The second one got on. But it almost landed right where it was supposed to, so that was kind of cool, I guess. I think it landed where it was supposed to. Yeah, my son's calling me. He probably wants medicine. Sometimes he's still teething. Sometimes he wakes up with stuffy noses. Just wants medicine to help, and he goes right back to sleep. So, that's how that works. That can be relaxing. For sure. I don't know if it is for me. Hopefully we'll come back and work on it more later, and hopefully my son will not mess with this area. Oh, look, one of the beads that fell. For now, I'd better go take care of my kid. It is 8 in the morning, so that means it's been like an hour. Anyway, and I will edit the about to put in the link to the picture I'm using because there's a more expensive version. I got the cheaper version and it's probably just as good. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Oh, and a quick plug, I am an author. I have the second book in my series right here. But the first one is 99 cents on Amazon. It's called That Prince Guy by Mariah K. Porter, and it's a Snow White retelling, romantic comedy, kind of like Mirror Mirror. I had, but like very much not, but similar type of humor, I think. Anyway, I love Mirror Mirror, but we just watched it yesterday. I better go. But thanks for watching.